Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
This ain't something you can run from, kid. This day's been coming since you made that deal.
Welcome to this week's episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have old boy.
It's said that the West was built on legends.
And Juicebox.
Generic Sam Elliott quote.
And we are back with another episode of Casting Cage. This is our series where we review Nic Cage movies in chronological order. We are up to 2007's Ghost Rider. This is a Marvel film, and the only way that we thought that we could issue in a Marvel film is to bring the masters themselves in from the Old Guard podcast. I want to introduce, for the first time ever,
Right.
on Bucky's Basement, Wally Analog,
Yes, sir.
and Royce.
Yes, sir.
And we are so happy to have you guys this week to help us break down this incredible pre-MCU Marvel movie. Because, again,
We hope you feel the same.
Are you ready for us?
we might be.
Might be? Okay.
I want to see how this breaks down, but we're excited because I've listened to a lot of the Old Guard podcast. You guys have been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we kind of want to hear the history of, not big, but tell us a little bit about what you guys were doing with that original podcast and what you're doing with the one now.
Yeah, with the original podcast, we just wanted to get our voices out there. We wanted to just show everybody that we still love this stuff and we're proud of it.
And we're not going to stop loving it.
And we're not going to stop
And it's
loving
okay
it.
to not stop loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to hide the geek culture in the backpack because I still wanted to have a girlfriend.
Sure.
So
It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. Now it's cool now.
it's
though.
cool.
It's cool now.
It's acceptable now.
That's right.
But yeah, so
Is it?
we just wanted our voices to be heard on that, and and then just being two black men in America, we wanted to just put our voices out there.
Yeah.
In terms of like geek culture and how we're represented and how we're taking in the geek culture. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And it helps when you're gainfully employed. You can afford to do more stuff.
exactly, and buy more stuff.
Yeah. When you broke as a kid, you can't
Right.
do
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Old Guard is, we're simply two OGs.
Dedicated.
Yes, original
Preserving.
gangsters,
The sanctity of geek culture.
original gentlemen.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
And we love it. And we've got these guys on our episode today. Again, we're reviewing 2007's Ghost Rider. This is something that I think that the three of us have been excited about. We've been reviewing Nic Cage movies since 1982. And we have gone through some...
Well, the way you said
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry. On this podcast, we've been reviewing Nic Cage
Right.
movies since 1982. We've gone through some highs and we've gone through some lows.
Yeah.
And I guess before we get into this today, I want to ask you guys if there's any Nic Cage movies that stand out to you that you remember from back in the day.
My first introduction to Nic Cage was Raising Arizona.
Yes.
Man, that movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I'd ever heard my mom laugh uncontrollably when he went in there to rob the convenience store for them Pampers. Huggies.
Yeah.
Huggies.
I'll be taking them Huggies and ain't no cash you got.
Yes.
That was the first I'd ever seen him.
I feel
and
like
I'm
we
thinking,
all are
this dude is
similar.
hilarious.
To us, that we've done this exercise now like 40 times.
Yeah, this is our 40th Nic Cage movie.
40th Nic Cage movie, and that's one of the only movies that we've all three agreed that has gotten our top rating.
Yeah.
If you go
That's
back
it.
and watch that movie, it has the best opening sequence, I think, of any movie
Yeah,
ever.
for sure.
It is 11 minutes between the opening scene and the opening credits, and it is one of the coolest montages you've ever seen in life.
Yeah, it does such a good job of making you care about the characters in the first 12 minutes of the
sure.
movie
Yeah,
or something
for
like that.
sure.
You're invested in those people after that.
Right. For me, I wasn't this might be sacrilegious, but
No.
I wasn't really a Nic Cage fan until he had this run where it was Face Off, Castor
All right.
Troy.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then The Rock, Stanley Goodspeed.
Yep.
And then it was like the Bruckheimer run.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
John
Yeah.
Woo and Bruckheimer.
That's it.
I mean, that was like for me, that was prime Nic Cage. Like
He almost played Superman.
Yeah, we know.
You
Well,
know, okay,
oh, yeah.
with
We know.
Tim Burton, man.
I
That's
don't,
wild.
I don't know how that would have went. But
Guys might have dodged a bullet on that one.
yeah, yeah.
Well, back then,
I like what you did there. Dodged it. Okay.
back then he was the most sought out actor. You're right, in
For
the
sure.
mid '90s,
For sure.
and now
Oh, man.
basically
Yeah.
he's taken anything that he can get, or he was at least in this point of his career. So
hey, it's a paycheck, man.
Yeah.
speaking of that, he
Hardest working man in Hollywood.
in those mid '90s he was making a lot of money for movie studios.
Oh man.
Right in the early '90s, late '80s. Up and down. You got Moonstruck. You got like some movies that he decided to do on his own for different reasons. One time he accepted a car for a movie, not payment. And then he started to go downhill a little bit in the early 2000s, but he was making a ton of movie for studios.
He was like a mainstream actor for
Yeah,
for sure.
10 years there
Absolutely.
or something, you
Yeah.
know? Like he
Yeah.
was a major actor for 10 years and then he just kind of like lost, he overspent and like owed a bunch of money basically. And
Right.
But we're talking
Anyway.
about 2007's Ghost Rider. So, oh boy, before we dive into this movie, do you have the budget and the box
Oh, man,
office
I
of
do
Ghost
not.
Rider? I'm assuming that this movie made money.
I don't have
because
the budget, but I've got other movies. I got what was in theaters in February of 2007. So Ghost Rider debuted at the top. Bridge to Terabithia.
Never
Anything?
heard of it.
Is that ringing a bell?
These are other movies that you could have walked
yeah.
down the hallway and seen.
Okay.
Right.
In
Yeah,
the
so
theater.
if you
Yeah.
decide,
I was looking that up too.
yeah, Norbit was in theaters.
Norbit.
Yeah.
oh my God, dude.
Music and lyrics. Some film called Daddy's Little Girls, which I don't know.
That's
Tyler
Tyler
Perry.
Perry joint.
Is it
Trash.
okay?
Yeah.
All right, not
Don't-
good.
don't get him started.
All right.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Tyler Perry.
That's a different episode.
And
Stop.
to answer your question about the budget, it was 110 million,
110 million.
Oh,
All
back
right.
then, okay.
yeah.
which is small today.
It seems
just-
like
if
with
you
those
adjust for
graphics and everything,
inflation.
like I'm.
But that was back then. That
Back
was
then.
a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
CG didn't
Yeah.
cost as much as it does now.
Hannibal Rising, because I said so. The Messengers, Night at the Museum,
Okay.
Pan's Labyrinth, Smoking Aces. I do remember.
Smoking
seeing
Aces.
that.
That was a good one.
Smoking
Yeah.
Aces.
That was a good one.
Sick movie.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Epic movie, Dream Girls, Letters from
Okay.
Iwo Jima.
All these movies are in the theater at the
Dude,
same time.
now
Now
movies used to-
movie
it's
theaters
hard
have
to find.
6 movies, and
Yeah,
that's
that's time.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
and not enough room for everybody.
The Last King of Scotland, Blood Diamond, and Casino Royale, and children.
Casino Royale,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
those had to have been in the theater for a while, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to think in February of, you said 2007, this is Oscar season. So, like,
Yeah.
if your movie is coming out, it has, like, you're just putting it out just to put it out because everything ended
That's a
in
good
January,
point.
basically,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good
point.
So,
Yeah.
it's not summer blockbuster. It's not fall, like, Oscar sweeps.
Right.
It's, like, right there in February, March, when not many people are going
Nobody's
to
going to the
theater, I
movie.
don't
Nope.
think.
So they re-release
Yep.
Oscar contenders. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
No. All right. Well, but that's what was in theater. So if you chose to go see Ghost Rider or see something else,
One thing about the budget, real quick. I was listening to the director's commentary on this movie, and he was saying like how he was like already working on a script for this movie and like had an idea, and it had like a $50 million estimated budget or something like that. And then Nic Cage like signed on, and it ballooned like another, $20 million for his
Wow.
salary.
Right.
And then he wanted to do Ghost Rider in like a photorealistic way or whatever. Like, I guess the director was thinking like more of, I don't know if it was anime. I don't know what his idea was, but whatever it wasn't as like intense as what
Right.
they ended up doing. So that boosted like another,
should've
30
paid him a
million or
car.
something. Yeah.
exactly.
What'd you do it for a motorcycle?
Yeah.
A Corvette, a red Corvette,
Or,
Anyway.
or a Harley or something.
It's
Yeah.
just funny. Like this movie could have been something completely different,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It could have been. All right, so let's get into the director of Ghost Rider, Mark Steven Johnson. And I don't know if you guys have, like, his name doesn't ring out anything, but I started to look into it, and I'm like, oh,
Daredevil,
man.
that's right, Daredevil.
He wrote Grumpy Old Men.
Yes.
Oh.
He wrote Grumpier Old Men. He wrote Simon Birch, Jack Frost, Daredevil, and Ghost Rider. He wrote all of those things. I obviously Daredevil and Ghost Rider are based on, previous things. I just don't, like, how do you write Grumpy Old Men? That's like one of those movies where, like, this is a young guy.
Yeah, a young dude right out the
He
box.
probably had exposure to a few grumpy old men in his life.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Angry uncles or something.
Who are the guys in that? It's Walter Mandau.
Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Walter
Yeah.
Matthau, yeah.
And,
It don't get much grumpier.
Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Great
grumpy
movies.
dudes.
They're just old angry dudes yelling, getting pissed at each other.
Right.
Director, he directed Simon Birch, which I do remember seeing, but I can't remember anything about.
Couldn't tell you.
He directed Daredevil, the Affleck version, and he directed Ghost Rider, and then some movie called Killing Season. Also didn't see. But let's focus more in on, like, Daredevil and Ghost Rider, right? So what did you guys think about Daredevil?
I don't know if I saw Daredevil.
I don't know if I did either, honestly.
It's been so long for me that I can remember anything
Yeah.
other than the fact that Ben Affleck played him.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was that forgettable,
The guy from the Green Mile played the Kingpin.
Kingpin sure
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan played
Michael Clark
him.
Duncan.
Sure did.
Okay.
Sure
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay. I think they even had Coolio in it.
Yeah.
I think he made it to the director's
sounds
cut or
about
something
right,
like that. But I mean, it was okay. It did Daredevil-y things. It got really cheesy.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah,
I
and
just
that's
wanna-
when
I just-
Jennifer Gardner was like, she was top of her game on Alias.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
But and then I think they ended up meeting on the set of Daredevil and
Yep.
ended up getting married. But it was kind of cheesy and the whole love thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things where I guess I have so many questions. Like, obviously we've talked about it. MCU started in 2008. So there were only a handful of movies, Marvel movies, that really came out before that. Like, in this
Well, the
same
only one would have
vein.
been like Blade, but they don't.
Blade?
Really, a lot of people don't really consider that, even though it's a Marvel character.
It is.
Yeah.
Whether you know what I'm
Blade-
saying, but
I-
Blade
and-
was exceptional.
Yeah, and Blade, what people don't realize is Blade, and not to derail here, but Blade was the godfather of the MCU.
Yep.
It proved that you could take a comic book property and it would do well in the theaters.
Yeah.
And that's how you were able to greenlight a Daredevil, a Ghost
and
Rider,
all the
Sure.
rest of
and
it.
then Iron Man. And
For
then
sure.
even with Iron Man,
It's a dice roll.
yeah,
You're right.
The,
That's
the
roll on
MCU
RDJ.
concept, yes, definitely came, from Iron Man. But when they first put it out, there wasn't an MCU.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that came like
And yeah.
last minute.
Yeah, the end credit scene and all that was all last minute. And,
All
and
last minute.
Yep.
Iron Man wasn't a big name. I
No.
mean, even in
Seagrave-
comic
But that's
book,
all.
like,
That's all they had access to.
Yeah,
They
right.
had sold everybody else, so we was like, we're just gonna have to do what we can with what
Iron
we got.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that Blade was gone for so long. And then, reappears in one of the most recent movies that we all went to the theater to see.
Right.
And, is welcomed back with, like, cheers in the theater and things like that. And it's
Yes.
like, you're right. He started this whole thing. Like,
Right.
1998.
1998.
1998, right?
Yep.
And then in 2000, we get Spider-Man. And then, like, kind of kicks it off. and, like,
X-Men,
X-Men.
Yeah.
X-Men.
all that.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
all black leather.
Yeah.
By the way, think about that. Think about that.
Speaking of black leather, in 2007 we get Ghost Rider.
There we go. Nice
black leather in
segue.
there,
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
and his jacket. So let's get into the cast of this movie before we move into it. So obviously we are here each and every week for our higher power, the reason that inspire us to do podcasts on a daily basis, the reason that we wake up in the morning and Google what was Nic Cage doing today. Nicolas Cage is in this movie as Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider.
Right.
We're going to get into it, but I mean, dude, some of this stuff is incredible to me.
Bucky.
As far as the experiment we've been doing with this Nic Cage series, he plays very subdued Nic Cage. There are no bust outs.
I think he's got his moments.
He has some moments.
Oh,
He has
definitely.
he has plenty of Nic Cage moments.
He has 6 points in this movie, by the way, which I want to get into. If y'all
6
don't
points.
know about that,
Okay.
the Nic Cage point, he has
I was just about to ask about that. Okay, okay.
This
yeah,
is
well,
He does indeed.
the most Nic Cage points you're going to get in
Yeah.
any film that he's done.
Nice.
We're excited. Also in this movie, Eva Mendes. I mean,
Well, man, listen
I mean,
here, man.
good
Listen
Lord.
here. Listen here.
Roxanne Simpson.
Man, come on, bro.
In a movie about like creatures from hell and flaming skulls and motorcycles and stuff, she's the hottest thing.
That baby blue dress.
Correct. There was
I'm
no
telling you.
fire hotter than that.
No.
Yeah,
Damn right.
it's I mean, it was a glow coming
None.
from down that corridor where she was about to interview him, and that
Oh,
one
man.
scene, it's like,
Come on,
oh
man.
my god, Eva
Yeah.
Mendes. Did you guys know that her very first movie was a role in Children of the Corn 5?
you're kidding me.
Her very
saw
first.
No, I
movie.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I saw
Children of the Corn 5. She broke out during Training Day. Obviously,
Oh, well.
all about the Benjamins, Too
Broke
Fast,
out.
Too Furious,
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico,
Yeah.
Knocked Up. Like we know her from a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did you also know that in this movie, she was hesitant to do it because in the comic books, her character. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in the comic books, her character is played by a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, voluptuous white woman, right?
Okay.
And she read the script for it, and she read the description of the character and started reading the comic books, and she was like, I don't really feel comfortable doing this, or I don't want to do this. And she was like, and they were like asking her why, and she was like, because I don't feel like I'm fit enough for this. And I was
What?
reading into this thing, and
Dude.
she like lost weight and started working out and like got her body in her right position just so she felt comfortable enough to play someone who was originally portrayed as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman.
Are you
Jesus.
Yes.
kidding me?
Insane to me. Like,
She was already.
I mean,
She's already the
Already
baddest. Like,
gorgeous.
why? What are
Right?
you doing?
What were you doing?
Not
Yeah.
to mention that the person you trying to catch up with is drawn. Like, what are we talking about?
exactly.
from some dude who sits in his basement and wants to draw up what he thinks is it's weird science. Like,
Yeah, right.
You know,
Right.
Yeah. Man, as much as I hate to say it, she probably also knew there was going to be a backlash from these basement nerds that are like so dedicated to like
Pretty
what this
much.
person needs. You know,
Back then?
You can't,
Oh, come on. Probably worse.
I mean, I don't
Oh,
know.
it's
man.
probably worse back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's people that
purist.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Yeah,
it's
I,
like they-
I guess you can call them purists. I
Yeah,
feel like it
it's a
goes
shame.
even beyond that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
anyway.
Also in this movie, who plays the caretaker, original Western Ghost Rider,
That's right.
and Carter Slade, the wonderful Sam Elliott,
Mm-hmm.
who, if you don't have Morgan Freeman or Sam Elliott doing a voiceover in your movie,
Right.
it is
You'd have
not
failed.
good.
Right.
Like, yeah, these
That's
are the
fair.
two guys.
That's fair.
These are the two guys in cinema that, like, people just stand up when they're
James Earl
talking.
Jones, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
and-
if
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially if your movie has like a whiff of a Western feel.
Okay, yeah, you gotta get
yeah.
Sam. You gotta get
Just-
Sam.
just
You got
a-
to.
just a
If
slight
it-
whiff.
One
Yeah.
cowboy had to.
I mean,
it's
they brought
required.
him in the Big Lebowski just because of that, because of like the Western feel of that type of the movie. But Sam Elliott in this movie plays almost the exact same role, in my opinion, that he
he's
plays
ever played.
that he's ever played.
That he-
Sure,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the same
but
guy.
specifically in Roadhouse, like he is the older like mentor, and he's got the same Sam Elliott hair. He's got the same like badass guy who's like, you know, you got the Ghost Rider who's a badass. You got Swayze who's a badass, and then you got his mentor.
So I have to like also on the DVD commentary. I went down a hole on the director's commentary on this, obviously, but like he's talking about he went out to a bar with Sam Elliott, and they're like sitting there.
The director?
Yeah, the director went out to a bar with Sam Elliott, and they're like sitting there having a beer, and people would come up, and Sam Elliott would be like, Roadhouse. And like the person would come up and be like, "Oh my god, I loved you in Roadhouse." Like he could tell by looking at the person what movie they were going to come up and like start talking about.
That's really funny.
That's crazy.
It's awesome. Also in this movie, Peter Fonda.
Profiling no more.
Yeah. Peter Fonda plays Mephistopheles. In the comics,
just gonna
it
call him
is not that
Mephisto.
long.
Yeah,
We're
we're
just
gonna
gonna call him
go to
Mephisto.
Mephisto. Yeah,
Right.
I don't even know where that
Is
came
there
from.
Exactly.
is there a reason why they decided to go that route?
We looked at it, and like I couldn't find anything that said.
I tried to
why-
look it up too.
I didn't even think that was his name. It's never been his name in,
No.
the
Yeah.
Marvel.
Not in
Yeah.
the comics, I don't think. But is that like the traditional?
They just
like,
put the Feliz on the end.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like
It's
a
like my-
traditional name of the devil or something.
The note on my phone that said just should have kept it the short name.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
note I have on my phone. Too long in this movie many times, but we'll get to that. Wes Bentley plays Blackheart, Mephisto's son. He's in the Hunger Games, Yellowstone, American Beauty remake of Pete's Dragon. Did anybody see it? It's one of my favorite
didn't
movies.
even know
as
that was
kid.
a thing.
They
Nah,
made a
missed that one.
remake. He's in it.
I was busy that weekend.
Yeah, but most people know him as like Jamie in Yellowstone, or they know him, from the Hunger Games. What I didn't know was, until we started researching this, is until 2009. Keep in mind this came out in 2007. 2009, he went in rehab for like hard drugs, alcohol, everything. He was like on a bad run right there. And in 2007, he did an interview which he admitted that in this movie, he couldn't necessarily find drugs in Australia where they're filming this movie, so he was drunk the entire time. He does not remember filming this movie, and every scene. And I had to go back and watch it.
I mean,
and
it
like
explains a
every,
lot.
Yeah, every scene he is hammered drunk, and that's crazy to me.
Oh yeah.
He does a great job. Like,
Yeah, he does better than most sober.
yeah. All right, let's get back into it. Matt Long. We want to bring this up because Matt Long plays the young Johnny Blaze, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Old boy and I went to Western Kentucky University, and this Matt Long fella was at the college the exact same time we were.
Oh, wow.
This is his first ever main screen role.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just thinking they needed like a guy who looked really well, who could wear the Nic Cage wig, because obviously it's the exact same
It took
hair.
3 hours
It's like Joe
a day
Dirt
to put that
It's
wig
like-
on
yes.
Nic Cage, by the way.
Really?
3 hours a day to put that wig on Nic
Yeah,
Cage.
what is that? I saw that.
I don't know.
too.
I
don't know if that's
don't
true.
know.
So I saw a thing with like it was down to two people. It was down to this Matt Long guy, and I don't know who the other person was, but the other person apparently looked more like Nic Cage. But this guy was a better actor, so they're like, well, we'll just go with the guy that's a better actor.
All right, so up next is Donald Logue. He plays Mac. He's obviously the comedian or the
Comic relief.
relief in this movie. You know him from Sneakers, Reindeer Games, The Patriot, Metro with Eddie Murphy. You know him? Like to me,
He's
I knew
in
him.
Blade.
He's
is in
he's
Blade.
Quinn and Blade.
He's
Yes,
Blade.
yes.
That's
Yeah, he gets his
where-
hand chopped off.
Yeah, that's where I know him from.
Yeah. And he was comic relief in that,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that guy.
He
That's
was
that character.
Yeah,
Blade
that
would just
guy.
carve him up every time
Every
he saw
time.
him.
Yeah, every time.
Yep.
It's like typecasted roles, and we deal a lot with this on these Nic Cage episodes and all these things. It's like these guys get pigeonholed into you're this guy or you're this guy, and and what we always say is you remember him from everything, but you can't think of a single
Now,
thing he's done.
yep.
Right?
I have this crazy memory, and forgive me. When Blade came out, I was so excited about Blade. So when it came out, it came out on when the first DVDs came out.
Nice, yeah.
So I was home from college, and I couldn't wait to show my dad. Right. So like the scene before Blade, does his thing. Donald Logue is like. He's hanging out, and there's like two girls, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
having fun, and my dad just looks at me like, son, what are we doing? Like, what is happening here? And I was like, and I totally blanked out on that.
On that.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
and
that's
it was
funny.
I was so
Womp,
embarrassed
womp.
because my dad was like, he wasn't having it.
I think that story's happened to all of us. So I, for another time, but I have a story about
I
taking my
do too.
grandmother to see The Rock in the theater.
Oh,
But if you listen to our previous podcast, you'll get that. Anyway, also in this movie is Brett Cullen, who plays Barton Blaze, young Johnny Blaze's dad. I wrote a lot of TV roles: Wyatt Earp, Apollo 13, The Replacements. He's actually been, I feel like this guy was just born to play a dad. Like he just feels like the
Right.
dad bad character.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to round this cast up by saying that the girl in the alley, first ever appearance from Rebel Wilson.
That's right.
That's great.
First film role.
I was wondering. I was like, that
She looks
is
familiar.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is
that's
wild.
Rebel Wilson. Before this
Yes.
movie, she had only done one commercial in Australia, and they were filming this movie in Australia, and they
Right.
brought her in.
Thought
Yes.
that was
And
her,
this one movie,
Launched
2007's
her career.
Ghost Rider, launched her entire career.
It's crazy.
And now she is a household name.
Did they shoot it in Australia?
They
just
did.
to have the desert scenes or something.
I
Yeah,
think
that's a
that
good
was
question.
part
Because
of
like,
it.
why would they travel?
I think that was part of it.
More
And
the
honestly,
budget
maybe it was
mainly
cheaper.
Travel.
it may have
Yeah.
been cheaper,
Right.
honestly, because they hired like a lot of Australian crew. Like they didn't fly people down there.
Okay.
It was like a lot of
okay.
most of the extras and like a lot of the side characters were
Spaghetti,
from Australia.
Okay.
spaghetti western type stuff.
Yep. Before we get into the plot of the movie and kind of break some of this stuff down, we have a segment on Bucky's Basement where we let Juicebox read the plot that you can find online, and then we kick it back over to Juicebox for what he thinks happened in this movie in a segment that we like to call
Plot by Juicebox.
From IMDb, a motorcycle stuntman who sold his soul becomes a supernatural agent of vengeance. Short and sweet.
Simple.
I mean,
That's pretty much it.
I mean, do you
Yeah.
go see this movie after reading that?
maybe.
Probably not.
If you don't know previous,
Yeah,
If you don't
comic
know that it was a
books
comic
or
book.
anything,
If they didn't get me with the flaming skull and motorcycle, I
yeah,
don't
see
know.
that would have been it right there. That
It's like-
that would have had me in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. The IMDb like little descriptions are so short.
Yep.
Anyway, so mine is I had a slightly different take. A story about how cigarettes, the devil, and a stuntman with a flaming skull saved the world from being taken over by Devil Jr.
Junior.
Brought to you by Philip Morris.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Dude, that's one of the most
That's
iconic
good.
things to me in
That's
the
it.
movie is when he's in the trailer, like after the first night, and he's like normally you're gonna pull a lit cigarette out of your dad's hand and like put it out, but he just pulls the pack of cigarettes like
Yeah.
out of his hand and like takes it and throws it in the trash.
I mean, if you think about it, if his dad didn't smoke, he never would have got cancer. He never would have sold his soul to the devil.
Right.
He never would have defeated Blackheart.
Okay.
There it is.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah. The things we think about.
Maybe he was a blaze through and through.
That's right. That's right.
He would have never got
That was
kidnapped by
bad,
women
sorry.
on an island or burned in, a Burning Man statue or anything like that.
Going back.
Yeah.
Going back.
It's crazy. All right, so let's get into the opening scene. We've already talked about like the flip book, which is crazy for a Marvel movie. It's one of the things that I just like. I was like, oh man, like this makes me feel like this is a Marvel movie.
Right.
Not only the coloring in this movie, like the sound. I mean, everything was like just fun. I
Yes.
guess.
can
And
see
you have
that.
to look at it through the eyes of like you didn't just watch the MCU. you watched it,
Right.
But and you were there from 2008 to whenever it ended, but you have to go pre that. And I just thought some of this stuff. Anyway, let's open this movie. Sam Elliott voiceover. Like I said, this puts you right at ease. There are many people in cinema that can put you right at ease at a voiceover.
So let me ask you guys real quick. Are you guys Ghost Rider fans? Do you know the lore or like the story?
Yeah, we like we're fans of the character.
Okay.
He may not be like top 10 or anything like
Right.
that,
Right.
but we
But
thought he was a cool
you're
character.
kind of familiar
Yes,
with
sir.
him and like
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
lore and
Yeah, we
whatnot.
played enough video games with him. And yeah, for
gotcha.
sure.
Okay.
Did y'all play this video game?
Not.
Was there a video game?
He
for
was,
this?
he
was.
was he's
There was
featured
video
in a
game
lot of.
from the movie.
There's a tie-in video game. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play that one.
Okay.
But we
Didn't know it
I played
existed.
a lot of the ones where he was featured in.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like even in fighting games, he was featured.
Yeah.
in.
He's a character.
So
yeah.
yeah.
So in this movie, we the initial thing we see is the montage, the backstory explanation. We're after a contract of 1,000 evil souls. You have to outrun the devil. We've learned that that's happened in the past, and that's our original montage. And then you get an opening shot, the fair. I think the it couldn't have been a drone shot in 2007, right? Or
No.
like whatever they were using to come down on that fair, like it was so perfectly lit.
It's like a dolly shot. Like,
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
a jib.
a
Or
gym.
something
That's
like
what.
that.
Yeah.
the way they set that up, I was like, oh my God, like this transports me right where I need to be, right inside this movie. It was like being in Charlotte's Web after everybody leaves at night. Like that, it reminded me of that for some reason. But we learned that his dad and son are motorcycle, attractions. Some things happen initially. They don't like the girlfriend. He has to go out, say goodbye to her. And then I just, this scene right here, I was like, where is this tree? Australia? Like, where are we in this movie?
Yeah.
Because there's obviously Australia behind whatever they're shooting there.
I also get the sense that like they're in a traveling circus, but like he's got time to have like a permanent girlfriend.
Yeah, that didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Like this
And,
definitely.
Like they
isn't-
clearly must have lived there.
Live there, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, it's a small town going to see these motorcycle yahoos
Yeah, no.
every weekend.
No, they
she's
down the
following
street,
it.
Yeah.
That is true. We found out next to this.
So real quick. You mentioned that tree. That tree wasn't real. Like it was like
Oh, it
they
couldn't
built it or whatever, and it supposally cost like $60,000 or something to build this tree out of like plaster and concrete or whatever. Like
for what?
What a waste of money.
yeah, exactly. Because they couldn't find a tree that was like looked similar enough, I guess, that they could use. They
I
also
mean,
said
he only did all he did was carve their initials in it.
Yeah.
I know. Is that the
I mean-
$60,000 to carve your initials in
Did
it?
you
Maybe
notice when
2,
they
3
zoom out,
cents.
like they put flowers around the bottom of this little hill? Like it was flowers that wouldn't grow in Australia. It's
Yeah.
like, this is in the South.
Like orchids or something. Wasn't it?
Well, they said like in that scene also they had to just keep chasing like kangaroos like out of the shot because they were like in the background.
That's really funny. And something in the circus scene, or like when they're riding around, like you introduce the two Blazes. Johnny Blaze like does like a little show off trick,
It hits
and
the
it's
rock.
It hits a mound of dirt. In it.
yeah, and like how skids out. His dad gets kind of mad at him. I'm like,
son,
let me
you-
get this right.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Stop showboating.
Showboat, quit showboat,
yeah.
right? And I'm like, man, y'all ride through a ring of fire every night. You're mad at your son for showboat a little bit,
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, man, what's going on here?
Also,
And the
let's
look
talk-
on his face was like, "Oh, I messed up."
Yeah,
let's talk about
Yeah.
how the dad dies too, because
please, yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyway, back into it. We found out the dad has cancer. Johnny's working on a bike at night, gets a visit from the devil. I love some of this because that's where we're introduced to Peter Fonda in the
Mephisto,
movie,
right.
who basically takes any role he can at this point. We've learned. So Peter Fonda just said yes based on
Yeah, Nic Cage like recommended him for the role, and they like called him up, and he had no idea like what the movie was or character or anything. It was just like, well, if Nick
He had a bill to pay.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But he was like, if Nick
He
thinks
said, "I got the
could do
hair
it."
for it in the forehead for the
Yeah,
the character.
basically.
didn't even read the script, just said yes.
That's okay.
Did
Yeah.
Nick Cage want him because he's Easy Rider fame?
He was in Deadfall.
Well,
I know he's in Deadfall.
I
but
do think there was like some sort
Yeah,
of
some
like
Easy
Easy
Rider,
Rider
yeah.
like tie-in or
Yeah.
whatever.
For another podcast, I went on a deep dive on Easy Rider and all the things involved in that. It's crazy stories. Anyway, back to this. When the devil shows up, or Peter Fonda's Mephistopheles, Mephisto, whatever we want to call him for this podcast, shows up. This is a great scene as he's walking around Johnny Blaze, and you get the lightning strikes and like the little devil like
Yeah.
things. The one was like Nosferatu, like the thing
Yeah.
in the background. I was like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, it did look
There's a lot of things that are cool in this when Blackheart, like, he's got the thing coming up the side of his face, everything that they're doing visually in this movie to me is like kind of special. Whether it's the eyes, whether it's the what do you call that on the face?
I don't know. It
Is-
just like makes him look like a demon or something.
Yeah.
See,
devil face.
what do you guys feel about this? Like,
You don't like it?
The problem is I do a lot of
Suspend
comparison between what we have now and then, and sometimes I can't get out of my head that was then.
yeah,
But then I go
Right.
back and remember Blade was 98,
Yeah,
so
yeah, man.
And there's now, and to be fair, there's a couple of parts in Blade where you're like, man, they need to tweak that CG
That's for sure.
just a little
Yeah.
bit,
That's for
but it
sure.
didn't matter at that point. You know, so
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that for this a little bit too. Like it's the CG is dated and some of it is even cheesy, but it kind of works for like the vibe they're going for. I feel
now
like a little bit.
I will say, back then, the Ghost Rider effect was amazing.
Yeah, for them.
Like,
Dude,
for
the
that
fi-
time,
the fire is still.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Yeah.
fire.
it still
stands
holds up.
Yeah.
It holds up. It
On
doesn't
the
feel
bike,
dated.
in particular.
The bike,
on the bike is
yeah.
it's still crazy.
When
Yeah.
he's transforming, like
to
yeah,
the devil
yeah,
bike,
yeah.
That's bananas.
Now, there's one transformation. I'm pretty sure y'all will get to this where it's a little shaky. But
The face-off transformation.
yes, yeah. But yeah, I would say the CG seemed. You can tell where the money was spent on
Sure.
Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah.
The other characters though, they use a lot of darkness to kind of
yeah, they do.
hide it.
A lot of shade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they skimped on Mustapheles or whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
No,
Oh, yeah.
completely agree. All right, let's get through some of this stuff. Dad dies. Next scene. He sells his soul to the devil, right? He doesn't really sell it.
Does he? 'Cause,
I don't think he,
He
sells
didn't. He
his soul.
didn't even sign the paper.
Exactly.
He cut
He
himself
dropped
on the scroll and dropped some
Yeah.
blood.
It's a
And dude said, well, "That's good enough.
That's all I
Yeah.
needed was that.
That'll-
double
That's
blood,
good
I
enough.
guess.
That'll do."
That'll
Yeah,
That's a drop of blood.
That's a void contract. in my
Right.
opinion,
I
man.
told my man, I was like, "Does that contract even count?"
Yeah.
It's the opposite of consent. It's like
Yeah, it's almost like he got tricked into selling his
Exactly.
soul.
Right.
Because he was like, he held the paper and he was considering it. It was like, oh, I'm going to break you real quick.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I gotta ask a question, man. Why does Mephisto want this guy? Like, I don't get the
'Cause he's a
sense he
rider.
could. But I mean, is that the only?
He's
Is that the
the
only
young
prerequisite? Is it
Yeah.
you have?
Can you ride a
Can you
motorcycle?
ride?
Can you ride a horse? Can you ride a motorcycle?
I mean,
Can you
but
ride-
like the other half of it is fighting, and I don't get the sense this dude can fight.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, can
And
you whip
maybe
a chain
comes
around?
with the
power?
the selling of your soul.
I
the
guess.
ability to throw some hands. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go. Yeah,
Rick-
it has to be, man.
I'll give you this.
Regardless,
he really
for your
didn't throw hands, though.
No, he
I
really
mean-
didn't. He just pointed it.
Yeah,
on
No.
pointed at him,
He
or
just
hit
points
his
at it.
stares at some people.
hit him with that chain.
That point,
mean,
that point goes
it's off
back
the
to
chain.
kiss of death. If you want to get your head bashed in, Nic Cage will do it. Anyway, all right. So let's go back. He sells his soul to the devil, well, against his will. Dad is automatically great the next morning, and then that night the dad dies in the most simple.
Yeah, he just kind of
wreck.
Yeah.
The most simple wreck of a motorcycle stunt man.
5-foot jump, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
He drives up 5 feet and then just slides on the ground.
Just lays down.
I feel
Just
like,
lays down.
I feel like I could have made that jump.
This
Could I
guy's
be
been
Ghost Rider?
this guy's been doing carny stuff for years, and now he just dies like that.
Yeah.
No.
You
like
got
that.
mad over a mound of dirt and you
And
died on the ramp.
like, guys, we ran out of budget.
Yeah.
We shot this last.
Just lay down on
Yeah.
the ramp.
Is this how Evil Knievel got started? Like,
I mean, I don't know, man.
Way to go.
So actually, it's funny that you say that because that shot was like a take that they couldn't use where a actual stuntman crashed and broke his
Oh,
leg
no.
horrifically and was injured. And then he was like, "No, you can still use the take in the movie." So that was
Just lay there.
the best take that they had that we were all clowning was obviously a terrible take. Was a dude where what broke his legs.
Was
Oh, wow. Sorry,
Now I
man.
feel bad. Yeah.
Keep it.
yeah. Cut.
So that it's like I just want to make it into the movie. I'm gonna lose my leg, but I just want to be in the movie.
Spent $60,000 on a tree. We can't reshoot that, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
we're going back to the tree here in a second, though.
So real quick, just to piggyback on that, his scene later where he, adult Nic Cage jumps and wrecks, and his face smashes into the tire, that
Back of the
violent
head.
wreck or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That actually wasn't supposed to happen either.
Wow.
The
Right.
stuntman wasn't supposed to hit his face on the motorcycle wheel, and he was knocked unconscious and severely injured, and that made it into the movie.
Oh man.
Yep.
That's just
And that's a cool shot.
it is.
but
It's
I
a
hate
great
that-
shot.
Budget
but-
went toward insurance claim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Seriously,
That's it.
insurance.
But it was the same type of thing. Dude was injured, but he's he got a shot in the movie, and that was all he cared about. Anyway, stuntmen are crazy. I guess
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
point I'm getting at.
That was
Dang.
a crazy shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, yeah.
And
All
they
right.
used that in the trailer. I remember that too.
Oh, yeah,
the trailer
I
was
do
very The trailer got you in the theater for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. After his dad dies in that one scene, we get the crossroads scene where Mephistopheles comes back, explains to young Johnny Blaze what his role is, or, one day I'm going to come back and get you. Until then, whatever. Then I wrote, why did he go back to the tree? Speaking of the tree, it makes a comeback because it was $60,000 to make. Why did he go back to the tree instead of just leaving? Why did you come back?
Because they were supposed to meet
I know,
her, right?
but your girl's there.
Yes.
She's ready.
Correct.
It's pouring down rain.
Correct.
Because they were going to
You roll
leave.
up in your
Right.
motorcycle just to look at her and then
bounced.
roll off.
Man, that was the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
I don't get it.
So you love this
Why
girl,
did-
bro?
yeah.
You left her in the rain, bro.
Why didn't you
For
just
what?
leave? Like,
I'm with you.
leave
I
her in
wrote
the
that
rain,
down.
but don't let her see you.
That's what
Don't
I said,
even
man.
leave
I
her.
was like, man.
Or don't
boy,
even
it was-
leave her.
That's when it started becoming a hard watch for me. I was like, man, that's your girl, man. You decided to run away, right? You told your dad. He got mad, and then he said, well, take my favorite bike then.
Yeah.
Like what? The same bike you didn't think he was man enough to ride?
Well, didn't Dad die before that?
No,
He
remember they
died
had an
after.
argument about,
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah.
girl, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? She ain't blah, blah, blah. But if you want to run away, fine. I'll do this.
Oh, that's right.
I'll do this thing by myself.
Yeah.
And what's the
And died on the ramp.
yeah? What's the
Very next
conflict of like? Why do you have to leave it all?
Right.
Like, why not just hang?
Like
I
now
mean,
you can
like,
just, you know what I'm saying? If she's leaving, I mean,
Yeah.
Like if you're still planning to run away with her, then go ahead and run away.
exactly.
Would you leave her there?
I didn't get it.
It didn't make sense.
No. And then the screen comes down, and then we come back up with Johnny Blaze, who's basically our generation's Evil Knievel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wrote, in what world does stuntmen get a stadium full of people to see one stunt? I'm talking, these people are pulling more than... You couldn't fill up Jerry World, or like any NFL football stadium for one single thing that he is going to do. We can't even fill up the Titan Stadium for NFL football. But this one guy is going to jump 10 Mack trucks and pull like 60,000 people.
But people,
I don't get it.
But there are things like that, and I feel like they're
Are
big
there
publicity
monster
stunts, and
truck stuff can't
yeah.
fill up stadiums?
So correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I feel like this is like an homage to Evil Knievel, who
Yeah,
did
sure.
fill
Yeah,
stadiums
for sure.
doing this,
Yeah.
like when he did it. Like,
Did he?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
like in like
full
the 70s
stadiums,
and,
though,
like,
for real?
Yeah, like
Where's
real,
it?
like big, like. Well, I don't know. I don't know about like
Caesar's
60,000
Palace.
Yeah,
people or
that's
something.
60,000 seems like
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, that does seem like a lot. But I'm saying there was a bigger turnout for that type of stuff, like once upon a time.
I feel like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
I feel like that was a moment where they read the source material and it's like, oh well, that's good.
Yeah,
Because back then that was a thing.
it was.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
That's a
Evil
good
Knievel
point.
was all over the
Yeah, he was
comic
the man.
books, and he was a man, and they would fill up stadiums. But in 2007,
You're right.
Yeah.
Try to
That wasn't-
modernize it. Figure out a way to
Right.
modernize
Right.
it. Yeah.
I want to apologize to you guys because I made a mistake tonight. I was originally going to supply this table not with bottled water, but with martini glasses full of jelly beans.
Oh, man.
Because I thought that would be
Can we
great
ta-
for the
oh.
video. I know we're gonna have to bring it back in. We might have to cut, and I'm gonna go make some martini glasses full of jelly beans because I was blown away at this. And I know, like, being sober is one thing, but like being intentionally sober, like with that, because he. Not only this first scene we see him in, it's like 4 different scenes where he like goes and grabs a martini glass full of jelly beans.
I think that was
I thought
Nick's
I
shtick.
loved it.
but
You think it was his shtick?
It was.
I do.
it
what he
was,
brought
and
it.
then also too, I think. Look, I'm a graphic designer, so like the color choice was interesting too. It was like,
Red
well,
and yellow.
It's red and yellow.
Yeah.
Good point.
Like from the
Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Blaze and Ghost Rider
That's a
comics.
good
So,
point. yeah, that's a good point.
but I didn't understand it. So, was there like a real life thing that was kind of creeping into the like he was being sober and said, "Well, hey, I don't want to portray myself drinking."
Not at all.
No,
something he brings to every movie.
I think he said like he didn't think that Johnny Blaze would drink because he had demons inside of him, so his thing would be like a sugar or candy like addiction or something like
I
that
see.
was like
Okay,
his
well,
way
hey,
of
but-
like I'm not saying it makes sense.
Yeah, well,
I'm just-
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I saw in this movie that did not make sense, and I was scratching my head like,
Right.
but why?
Yeah.
you know. But and that was one of them that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
like I think what was Donald Logg's name in the
Mac.
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 Mac was like, I think he popped a cold one or something.
Yeah.
And then he pulls a martini out with the
Yeah.
jelly beans.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
what are you doing?
Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah.
I just
And then he
kinda
wanted to
just
look
tuned
at
it out.
like monkey, like
Yeah.
a monkey
Videos.
video.
He wanted to
He was
watch
like,
monkey
don't
video.
change my
Don't
monkey
change the
video.
channel.
No.
It's like,
So what?
Which also
goofy.
was apparently a movie or a video that Nic Cage was like really into at the time, and it was like really hard for them to pay the person to get the rights for that. To put it.
Yep.
Stupid
So
fact.
bad.
Sorry.
Speaking of things that annoy you, what annoyed me in this movie is I wrote, how does his team not know about his jumps? Right? Everything that he does, it's just like surprising his
Clandestine,
entire
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Like he's holding this, like he's making the calls to these helicopters and he's making the calls to like all these places
Yeah.
and he's not telling anybody
Nobody.
that's on his team.
Zero.
I was like, this makes no sense
None.
to me
it's called,
whatsoever.
it's called The Writer Said, we need to make this dude comic relief.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is happening here, guys?
right.
It's like,
This is a big production undertaking. I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Right.
and
Lots of
it's all Nick. It's all Johnny Blaze. And
Yeah.
he's the one pulling the shots.
Like, why do you
giving
even
his
have
credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so silly.
Anyway, so the next thing we did, we get the introduction of Blackheart in this movie. We cut over to the bar scene.
We get a jump scare in there too that I felt was unwarranted. When he just kind of like
he's walking down the.
and he just pops up in front of the camera, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
did I need that?"
Yeah. It's so cheesy, but for some reason,
It's like, hey, I'm scary, y'all.
Throw it in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Watch out for me.
terrifying.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm that guy.
So I do love Blackheart's intro because like the first thing he does is walk up to that biker bar. The first interaction we hear is that biker like talking smack to the waitress,
Right.
like being mean to her. So
Right.
like initially you're like, okay, this guy's an a-hole.
Right.
He walks up like the dude is wearing like Nazi stuff and like
Right.
other.
Yeah.
It's like so immediately you're like.
He's
Who
gonna
am I supposed to be rooting for in this scene?
Yeah.
Like, am I rooting for the Devil Jr. or am I rooting for this Nazi biker? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
we-
making-
Devil
yeah,
Jr.
go ahead.
every
Yeah,
time.
Devil Jr.
I'm taking Devil Jr.
I'm taking Devil Jr.
all the
Yeah,
time.
obviously, but it's like you're making me root for the devil. Okay,
Right.
Interesting take.
Yeah, the devil over anybody you can manage to dehumanize effectively.
Absolutely.
It's not clear cut like Terminator, right? When Terminator comes
Right.
back, he's like there's
Yeah.
an electrical guy named Bucky with his like helmet, and he's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want you to kill Bucky, but
Give me your clothes.
yeah,
I wrote down also. So he goes to the bar to like get the crew back together, the bad guy, right? And I'm like, okay. And they're hanging out in this bar.
They're hanging out.
Yeah, but like Blackheart's superpowers, he pokes people to death.
Yeah, that's what he does.
I was kind of like,
turns him into
Yeah.
I was
stone
like,
or
oh,
turns him
yeah.
into
No, he
Yeah.
sucks the life essence out of him.
Yeah,
But-
but
yeah, and I was like, oh,
that's pretty
cool.
gangster though.
But then I
Yeah,
wrote,
to be
Hey
just
man, you
yep, I wrote, and you guys are gonna hate this, especially you two. Blackheart's bar scene is where he gathers his troops of demons, right?
Right.
And it's basically like evil Captain Planet. I
Yeah,
mean,
pretty much.
They're the elements, right?
Yeah.
they're evil elements that live.
okay.
And-
They are. You're right.
That's
You're
what
right.
Sam.
You're right.
That's
yeah,
what
that's exactly right.
Sam Elliott was saying.
Yeah.
like they call them the
One
hidden.
comes up out of the water in that
Yeah.
first fight.
They hide in the
scene.
elements till
yeah.
the last of days.
Bucky
Well,
loves.
that's the. Hopefully, you'll talk about that water dude. That,
Oh,
that-
Yeah,
God, yeah,
it comes up out of the
But Bucky loves
we had a
Captain
problem.
Planet, man, and I cannot believe I cannot
Okay,
believe
you're
I
a
just
fan.
skipped
It's
over.
probably my favorite superhero.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
It's just
I'll
because
allow it.
all of the
Yeah,
elements
man.
come together,
Hey, man.
and
and Bucky
you know,
doesn't even recycle.
He don't care about the environment, but he loves Captain Planet. Man.
look, it's what we grew up on. Generic,
But that doesn't matter.
comics and TV shows. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Got him.
All right, let's get back. All right, so we're going for Johnny Blaze's big jump, and then we find out in the movie Roxanne is back. That's where we meet Eva Mendes, older girlfriend. You know, Johnny's big jump in the interview, when you see her down this corridor, which is obviously soundstage, like you could tell the background of this was completely fake, and like they built these two walls, look like they're going to grandstands.
It's great.
I mean, she's a smoke show, man.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sweating right now.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baddie grown up reporter.
But what irritated me though, it was this tension of like, okay, she's hot, right?
Right.
Right.
But this is the cheesiest thing ever.
It's
like,
terrible.
like
I mean,
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like he's I think the night before he's like, I'm just looking for my second chance. It's like-
Right.
and
Yeah.
then it's like,
and then,
and then they have that discussion. It's like, you know, like he.
yeah, that was it.
But you left her in the rain, bro. Like, let's go back to
know.
that. Like, you love her that much.
And,
And
she's
she's
still
still
pining
that
over.
hot.
him.
I
And
mean,
you,
That line is so bad though when they're like, he doesn't do interviews or he's not doing any interviews, and she's like, not even for an old friend.
yeah, they made her a little.
Yeah, she was
So I mean,
bimbo-ish on
that was
that
the
one.
writing, but you know,
Yeah,
I was just so
the writing was.
cringy.
There's some bad writing in this.
It was
Yeah,
like they
man.
were writing for Archie comics or something.
Dude,
man. It was-
Hey, man.
it was
Eddie and
Bob.
Veronica out here, man.
Bob and
Man,
numbers.
bro.
All right, so let's get back into it. Johnny does the big jump. First of all, the jump involves what his team didn't know were 6 Black Hawk helicopters that they opened up the stadium like I've never seen a professional football stadium like have that quick of retracting.
Right, that thing
door.
opened up in like 2
nobody
minutes.
does that.
2
Not even
minutes.
Jerry Jones can afford
No.
that.
And they
right?
they get it. They land them and get it perfect the first
Perfect.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, side by
first time.
side.
This is
Blades and
suspending
everything,
disbelief.
spinning.
Like you
Still
gotta, you
spinning,
just gotta
right.
like believe this and
Yes.
own
Yeah.
it
I
because it's
understand.
it's
That's
beautifully shot. Then he goes to chase after Roxanne.
But I do hold on. I do like it when Mac is like, "Oh man, helicopters." He's like, "Yeah, man, my dad thought it'd
dad.
be cool."
Oh yeah,
And then they flash back to
Yeah.
his dad and was like, if we could get helicopters, that will get them.
yeah, just one
Meanwhile,
He
helicopter.
only wanted one,
Meanwhile,
though.
Dad could
He only
make that
wanted one.
He
5-foot
only wanted
jump.
one of them.
Yeah,
And they had the same haze that they
dozen,
used for Eva Mendes.
Yeah, yeah,
as
the
he's talking
same-
about the helicopters.
Oh man, That-
Probably
yeah.
the same hallway. Probably.
you're probably
Hey,
right.
if you could just
Bring
get a
it in.
helicopter in here, that'll get them.
Helicopter.
after he makes this jump, he goes and chases after Roxanne. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is because not only does he stop this van, but as soon as this van is stopped on the interstate after his big jump and his show, immediately when she gets out of the van, there are 125 cars backed up, and they're already out of their car. Right?
Already
if you're
there.
on the interstate and a car stops, you're going to sit in there for at least 5 minutes before you're like pissed off. And you're like, I'm going to get out of my car.
A
See what's
desert
going on.
interstate.
They were immediately out of their cars.
Well, what was weird was it was almost as if like he had maybe have caused the accident and they just cut it out the film because there was a truck full of cows and then all of a sudden the cows were on the side of the road.
Side of the road.
Oh, good observation,
Wow.
dude.
And they even and then when he started talking to her, the cow was like moo. I was like,
Oh my god,
Cow was
come on.
side-eyed, man. Like, move.
man, I
like
did not
man,
put
that's
that
some
together.
that's some bull, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's some bull.
And then after they left, it's like everybody on the interstate knew who Johnny Blaze was.
Everybody.
I was like, what? Like he's way ahead of you. He's 10 cars up, and you know who this guy is just based on the back of his head.
But
like
that was pissing me off too. Like he's
it's
chasing
like, did all
after.
these people come from his show? Like immediately?
Yeah, they
after
all
he
left the stadium immediately and chased him on that motorcycle.
We're done.
Yeah, and
Bro, come on.
I think the thing that was making me angry was she was like blushing, like, "Oh my god, he's chasing after me again! Yeah, I got him this time,
Dude.
He's coming back in my life." And I was
Yeah.
like, "You're too fine."
Yeah, you need to.
She
move
wasn't
on.
blonde, but
on.
they blonded her out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah.
Like she may not have been in,
Yeah, her
per
IQ
se,
level
but
was-
that IQ was on that dumb blonde shit. For
that's-
real.
I mean-
Man, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because the next scene she does agree to go to dinner, and then this mother is late.
Not only late,
He hadn't even left yet,
Yeah,
and she's
she-
at the dinner.
She's already
dude,
had.
I'm
She's
like,
already had
Already there, bro.
2 glasses of wine and like grabbed the waiter and been like, no,
Give me-
like
yeah,
more.
more.
out of movie with spirits and all this other stuff.
Okay.
That was the most unbelievable thing.
Okay, guys.
Is
Okay,
that
guys.
You're leaving that
All right.
sitting up at the restaurant.
where did the magic 8-ball come from? What's the story behind
I
it?
don't know.
Was that her stick?
She was at dinner and she looked at it and I was like, okay, are we going to get a payoff on this? Like, what is inside of the magic 8-ball?
Not likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was
I
about.
feel like that was probably like a cut scene. Maybe
It
from when
was.
she was like younger or something. Like I
Okay,
felt like
yeah.
that might have been.
But
a
there was no
throwback,
setup.
like-
They didn't give us
No.
a
They
didn't give
reason as to
setup.
why that
She
was
just
her
shook
thing.
it
It's
and
just-
looked at it and was like, oh. And then she put it
It's like
down.
they made her pathetic, man. Like,
Exactly.
dude, man,
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, man.
and made her like look like, well, she literally asked the waiter, "Am
Right.
I pretty?"
And he
I
said,
was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, and he says,
He was like, "Yeah."
Almost like they were purposely trying to humiliate her.
Dude.
Right.
And maybe that was part of the humor because we all know she's just smoking hot, but like it made no
trolling
sense.
us.
It made no sense in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being casted apart as that waiter? And it's like, here's your role. You're gonna look at Eva Mendes in the face, and she's gonna ask you if she's pretty, and you're gonna go, eh.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna be known for. This
They
is
would have
Eva
to tell me
Mendes.
cut 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Girl,
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
the line,
I
bro.
don't mean this. I
That's
don't
not
mean
the line.
All right.
But you're right.
That's
But I
funny.
feel like let me just finish this thought real quick though. Like I feel like that's just women in comic book movies for the longest time, right? It's
true,
just
man.
damsel in distress type
Yeah,
thing, like
yeah,
forever. Like they need to be rescued, they need to be taken care
You're
of.
right.
Like
Yeah.
Every
Right.
time.
And then
That's
and
facts.
and that's one thing that we talked about in our podcast, like the way women are projected in the comics.
it's not good.
Just yeah, like, and they use them as like there was one storyline where like the I think it was elongated man's wife got like stuffed into a refrigerator. It was just stupid stuff like
Yeah.
that. Just like just treat them like no intelligence and
Yeah.
just use them as like cannon fodder.
Something has to be rescued.
Yeah, and I felt like that in this movie, that her character was just there just to kind of
Yeah, we capture her to draw the hero out.
Right.
You know, that type
Plot
of thing, man.
device.
It's
Yeah.
just so played, man.
Seen it
It's
so
right.
many times before.
Yeah.
Also, like right before that happens, obviously we get Mephistopheles or Mephisto and Blackheart meeting in the park. Well, let's set this whole thing up.
Right.
Son hates dad. Dad is ultimate ruler. Son wants to take over. Dad wants son killed. So let's get a bounty hunter on it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So go ahead and cash this in.
Yeah, so time for the devil to cash in, and this is where we get Ghost Rider, this transformation scene where the devil comes to cash in on Nic Cage, says, "I've been doing all this for you, like all these
should've
jumps
died
you've
a bunch of
made,
times."
all this
Yep.
fame, all these video games. It's all me. It's not you. Now it's time to cash in." And this transformation scene, like there's a lot of face off here, like a lot
This
of
is
like
Nic
the,
Cage.
like
This
you know,
is
Nick, this is
100% Nic
This is
Cage.
Nic Cage's facial acting, and that is where we love to go in this podcast. It's like he can just like do this
And
thing,
you just freak out.
yeah,
Man.
just freak out and you believe it.
Can I ask a quick question? And y'all have covered a lot of Nic Cage.
Yep.
Is that something that he just loves to do? Like that was like, hey, I am MVP of this like face game. Like I'm gonna buck my eyes and scream.
Go
and
full Nic Cage.
Yeah.
I think so. I think
he seems to like doing that, and he's the only person that likes to do
Yeah,
that.
and-
I think
and-
somebody told him early on that like this is going to be successful, right?
is gonna
So
be your
if
thing.
you look at these 80s movies and you look at Vampire's Kiss, which I think was 89, and he just starts to do the freak out stuff and like that just became his thing, like his niche, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He's pretty subdued, like Moonstruck. Like he's got these monologues in the basement in Moonstruck where he's just incredible, and I think he should be nominated for some of this stuff. But then he's got these like just weird, erratic, like freak out moments, and I think that's what made Nic Cage initially. I don't think it was the acting. I don't think it was the fact that he was Coppola's nephew.
I mean, I think that helped, but
Well, that helped.
big time.
No, I don't know. I mean, all the stuff you're mentioning is like he does his best work when he has a director that reins him in. Honestly, like and lets him do his Nic Cage thing in a small like window or portion or
Like,
section.
hey man, I'll
of,
let
like,
you
the
have
script.
that, man. Just go crazy here, but we ain't. Stop that.
Like
man.
stop ad libbing. Like stop messing up the script. Like this is what we need you to do.
You know,
Yeah, don't. What was the movie where his brother? The only Deadfall, where his brother directed it. It was the only movie his brother directed, and
he is off the chain.
Dude, that
crazy.
movie is unbelievable.
Was he just doing that the whole time?
Yeah, it's like no one said no to any idea. He just ran with all of them.
I gotta watch that.
Right. Now we gotta
comedy.
see it now.
It is a
With
terrible,
context, we gotta
it is
look
a
at it.
terrible movie. So like, just go on YouTube and look up Nic Cage clips from Deadfall or something.
Okay.
Like, don't subject yourself to the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, let us
Noted.
do that. That's
Noted.
our job.
This
Like
scene-
even down to and it's funny. It seemed deliberate. Like there was a scene, and it's a random scene where I forgot what happened, but the TV was on, and it was a skull and bones, and it was doing this
yeah.
thing, and it was chattering its teeth. Well, later on, he's in the mirror and he's
does
showing
that.
his jacked body, but then he's like,
yeah.
he's doing all of that, and it's like, what?
That's
like,
that's 100% him.
Yeah, I didn't
like,
stand.
Yeah.
I didn't stand in place of that.
So, this,
but it was almost like he was trying to tie the two things. Like, okay, I saw this skull and bones, and I have a flaming skull. So while
Yeah.
I'm a human being, I'm gonna do this.
I'm going to see if I
teeth
can
chatter
turn into
thing.
into the Ghost Rider. So Nic Cage he's a big comic book fan, and he fought for this role. So I feel like this scene in particular, he probably fought for. Like he probably wanted this freak out for the transformation.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
He said in an interview that like his thought process behind that transformation was like the Ghost Rider was like
Coming out
felt
of him.
yeah, and it felt good for the Ghost Rider to be finally like breaking out because he had been like locked up for so long.
So that's
or
why he's
whatever.
laughing and,
that's it.
euphoric.
It's the
Yeah.
Ghost Rider that's laughing. It's not like Johnny Blaze or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
But you get a lot of fun stuff like later on in the movie where he's like trying to hide the smoke on his hand when Eva Mendes comes in his apartment and stuff like that. And it reminds me a lot of like Teen Wolf or these movies where you're transforming and you're trying to hide it or hide the little parts of it. It was really cool. Anyway, transformation scene, and then what blew me away about this movie is he immediately goes into fighting Blackheart, and then he whistles for the bike, and I was like, dude, now the bike's getting the transformation, and it's like, dude, this bike was already
That was actually
sick.
like
Like that
cool.
bike was
Yeah.
sick, and
I
then the
did like that.
transformation was great.
It was
with the
awesome.
CG on that.
It was awesome.
It was nice.
And then he goes to fight crime that one night, and that's when we get Rebel Wilson in the purse scene.
Right.
She's in
Right.
this movie for 60 seconds, and it skyrocketed her career.
Right.
And I think she does a great job. She's a great comic relief, even more so than the guy that's supposed to be the comic
Mac.
relief.
Yeah.
Mac in this movie. She stands out. The next morning, I love the need water, like the explanation, like, and I love how they're only like quarter cups of water. Like there's 4 of them in like those little tin cups you'd see. Like, dude, what? Sam Elliott, you don't have like a jug or something you can get this
Pitcher of
guy?
water, man.
Like, what's with the 4 cups of water? And then we see Carter Slade's gravestone. We see, you've got foreshadowing there.
Right.
You know this is going to come back.
See, he got the water from the well.
Yeah,
the old
and
well
the
that's in the
well.
cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he gets his water.
Yeah.
So this dude spends his whole first night as Ghost Rider, and then the next thing he does is find Roxanne and tells her. To me, we've learned in so many movies, and we've discussed this in this podcast so many times before, would I believe it if you told me this crazy story that you are the devil's bounty hunter, and at night your body turns to fire and you go fight crime?
She didn't believe it.
She did not believe
I
it.
did love that scene though, because I don't know if you guys noticed, like when he tells her he's like, I'm possessed by the devil, and she's like looking at him, but also like looking over at the door like the whole entire time. Like she's like, how could I get the hell out of here?
Right.
This dude is like obviously crazy.
Yep. Then he gets arrested from the events of last night. I love how this whole movie like transpires over 2 days. That's
The
it.
writers were crafty. So when they were investigating the crime scene,
yes.
Right.
the guy was like, "Oh, I got a license plate here."
He's like, I found something.
Yeah.
You see that in so many movies. I found something.
Yeah.
All right, so then we get it's night again in the movie, and now he's arrested and in a cell, and obviously we get the cell beat up, and the one kid who's nice to him, we got to get the token nice kid in jail, the one who lives, right, and then we get another like Ghost Rider coming out. And then we get another Nic Cage point in the cell, which is one of my favorite things. Breaks out of jail. This is a great homage to the comic books and a great homage to Ghost Rider itself because it says that his motorcycle and Ghost Rider can ride on water. Yeah. It can ride up buildings. It can ride, do all these things. And we see all this in like one scene where he's like up on top of like that bridge in downtown Nashville. Yeah. Like that. He rides up it and then slides down the side and then gets down underwater, comes up on the water and takes off. I love it. I love
good scene.
That was good scene.
Is that the scene where he flips off the cops when he's like riding over?
Yeah.
I love this in the movie. I think, as far as 2007, and we've talked about it, yes, there's a lot of cheesy.
It was really good.
It looks great. I think it still looks good today.
Yes, still holds up.
Again, let's talk about suspending disbelief. Like, you just have to put yourself into it and be like, this is what is happening. Next thing we get is Blackheart at church. He's looking for that contract. Somebody tells
Which
him
I thought he couldn't go on hallowed ground, but whatever.
No, he's immune to all the rules for some reason.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't understand why. But
plot armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Plot armor.
He had the perfect plot armor.
I'm going to use that.
Yep.
Plot armor.
Yep, plot.
That's what we call it.
Yes.
I love
What we
that.
call it.
Then we get showdown number 2 between Ghost Rider and Blackheart and his crew. But now the cops are involved. So we've got a bunch of cops chasing after Ghost Rider and Blackheart and his crew going after Ghost Rider. So he just can't win.
Well, it kind of does. He traps the wind guy.
He does. He beats the wind guy. Yeah, he lassos him, if you want to call it that. Lassos him, but then he showed his weakness, which is his girl. And this is the downfall of all Marvel characters.
Of course.
Every single one of them
Don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I guess that's why he
When
lived
they
with
gonna
the
learn,
tree.
man?
Maybe that's why
he probably left
He's
her.
like,
Yeah.
But we learned that he has to, he really wants this contract. He steals the girl, goes to the dark side of wherever. Where do they go? Like
the city?
5,000 miles away or something?
500.
It's
500 miles
Yeah,
away?
500. It's 500. Yeah.
San Vengaza.
Yes, that's where the original contract.
Yeah.
So you
With
have
the
to
souls,
open the contract in San
Yeah, because
Vengaza?
that was the origin point.
That's
of
where all
of
the souls.
The souls never got claimed.
Correct.
And they were the souls were just sitting there. I guess.
Gotcha.
Correct.
So San Vengaza translates to Saint Vengeance.
There you go.
Oh,
Right on the nose.
Cool.
I can see Mark Steven Johnson's like, got him.
Got him, baby.
Slide that in. They're not going to find this out to another podcast called Bucky's Basement.
That's right.
I'm cooking.
Yeah. They're going to find this out 20 years later.
Yeah.
Fire
At 3
pin.
in the morning, he had that break.
Right.
When he was doing something. He,
Fire
He's
pin.
probably just sitting there sipping on a martini full of jelly beans. Like, man.
He probably wrote it in a red pen. I'm blazing right now. My pen is hot.
I'm going to get him with this
I'm
one.
going to get him.
Oh, man.
Spitting bars here. Hot flames.
Now we don't just have one Ghost Rider. We have 2. We have the Ghost Rider duo going to San Vengaza.
Right.
Saint Vengeance.
And I love it because Sam Elliott gets to the edge and he turns around and leaves.
Bro, listen,
Like,
man.
all right,
Listen, man. Listen. I hope somebody was going to say something about this shit. What? Dude, I'm riding. I'm like, man, my man, we about to put in some work.
Right.
We about to put in some work. All right, then, bro.
Yeah,
Wait a
good
minute.
luck.
You ain't going to help?
He said, he literally said, only had
I
one
only
more
had
transfer.
Yeah, but you can stay.
You can stay and fight.
Go, and then when we finish,
One more turn.
Turn it off after we fight.
He turned around and just
Homeboy
vanished.
just bounced on him.
I mean,
and,
dude.
and,
Bro.
went where?
He just
Home. He went
well,
back to the
just went back-
cemetery.
No, he disappeared.
Oh, okay.
He went into thin
Okay.
air. It was almost
Man,
like
come on,
It was
dog.
almost like his purpose was to get Johnny Blaze.
Gotcha.
Like he
Gave
was
him-
just a Sherpa to get him
The
to
contract
the fight.
was in a shovel.
Yeah. It was Lion King. It was showing
you
him
just
where.
open the shovel and here you go.
And Mephisto is not mad that this dude's been holding this contract for decades.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, centuries.
Yeah.
like
It made no
real.
sense.
Yeah.
It
Right.
made
Just
no
left
sense.
homie out there.
It was just an excuse to play like the. Like it was just like.
I mean,
make
the
it
scene
Western.
was it was one of the two best scenes. The one you mentioned earlier with the
Right.
full Ghost Rider.
Right.
We on the
And then
bridge.
the horse turns
and then
into
that
the-
horse. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
we cooking now.
Yeah.
And then he left. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Right, man.
Crazy. I
said-
thought we were
He
going
said,
to.
Oh, man,
I'm too
come
old.
on.
I'm too old for this.
Hey.
Did
Bro.
you guys? All right. So when they are riding down the road or whatever, did you see the lizard catch
Yeah, he
fire?
died. He caught it straight.
Yeah,
That's
and,
raising Arizona shit, isn't it?
And I was thinking maybe also that other lizard
For sure.
that smoking lizard. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I didn't
it
think
was
about
raising
that.
Arizona.
I feel like it was
Yeah.
the guy riding on the motorcycle. and
Yeah, the
shoots
bounty
thing.
hunter.
The
He was a
bounty hunter as well.
Yeah, shoots the thing off the
so
thing.
I got to ask you guys. So do you think they shoot this stuff and then Nick Cage comes in the editing room? Hey
Go
guys,
ahead, add that from Arizona.
hey,
Don't throw that.
kill
in
that
there.
lizard right there.
Yeah,
Kill it.
Yeah.
something.
We
Yeah,
do.
like
Yeah,
Okay.
or he's
Okay.
just
We
like
do.
spitballing it on set, like probably constantly in the director's ears, like telling him his ideas. That's
Right.
what I feel like.
Okay.
Seen
I
so
think.
many
I
of
think.
And some directors rein it in, and some directors like.
And there's,
Yeah,
there might be
that's
something in his contract like, hey, this $20 million you paying me, you gotta, I gotta have some, I gotta have some say in this film.
I could
Goddamn.
get 7 things in the film, and you can't question it.
right.
that's in his rider.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
All right, let's bring this thing home.
Yeah.
So we get the final showdown. The souls of Sam Bagaza turn into Legion. Is that what we're going to call him?
That's what he
so.
called himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Legion.
There's a better Legion in Marvel, but
And then I wrote, wait, Ghost Rider just needed to look him in the eyes?
Now here's your problem.
Okay, please, break it down.
So they fought once before. Remember?
Yep,
Right.
And he tried to stare at him.
Yep,
Right.
and
The homeboy promptly says, "That don't work on me, bro. I ain't no
Correct.
souls." So you promptly go pick up some souls
right.
a bunch of them, 1,000 of them.
so that he can
Right.
really torment you and kill you. I told him, man, that's like Lex Luthor rolling up on Superman.
And Superman's
And then
like, "I'll be
Superman's like, hold on, I'll be back. And come back with a rock of kryptonite.
That's right.
back. Now we can
Like,
fight.
what? Now we can fight. Like, what What is that?
That is a great
Man,
point.
I checked out after that, bro.
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, you know what, man?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, you didn't have much
Great
left.
point.
There's only about 6
I
minutes
know.
left in the movie.
I know. I was like, that's when I just had finally made my decision on this
Yeah,
movie.
man.
Yeah, Mephistopheles then releases him once he defeats Blackheart from the contract that
Right.
the selling your soul to the devil thing. Then we get another Nick Cage point. This is number 6. I counted them in this movie.
Okay.
Like one of these, and he can just like keep the power. Like
I mean,
from the
Carter
devil,
Slade
just
did or
like
whatever. Like he kept the power, right?
I guess so. But do you release him or do you keep the like? Do you,
So he didn't.
My man,
It didn't make any sense. Because,
No, it didn't.
Because
Yeah.
all he had to do was say,
Hey,
"Man,
man.
forget what you say.
Homeboy,
Take this
what
power."
devil do you know decides, you know what, man, let me lift that curse up off you. No devil is doing that.
Yeah.
And if he does, you take that. You
Yeah.
take that deal,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to keep it to
Maybe-
fight you with it. I'm like, what?
yeah.
Man, don't you want to live a normal life with
But
this
I gave
girl,
you the.
bro?
But I gave you the power.
Yeah, 'cause
I'll
they-
take that back.
They
You're
had
not
to
gonna
make
fight
Ghost
me.
Rider
Power.
too. I mean, that's the only
that's
reason he kept the power.
That's the vehicle.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Like,
but you're
what?
right, man. This girl sitting there like, you're gonna do what?
You going to do what?
You're
Yeah.
gonna what? You're gonna.
You
you're
really
gonna
hate
keep
me.
the thing and run off
yeah.
Well, she still loves him after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
After all of that.
after all of that.
Bananas.
Ridiculous.
I love the very last scene of this movie where we get the ending credits and everything. Obviously, this is pre-MCU. You're not going to get a post-credit
Nah.
scene. The very last is back at the tree. The love tree, and him and Roxanne get together and whatever. And I just wrote, "Damn it." Again, this is clearly Australia. Like this tree, and then the background just goes on forever. And I've never seen anything in cinematic United States history that looks anything like this.
Yeah.
But it is clear
I
that
don't know, man. That looked just like Texas to me.
did it really. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just where it's supposed to take place.
All right, so that ends up kind of a plot walkthrough of 2007's Ghost Rider. We have a couple of segments before we get out of here that we want to run through. One is movie marriage. This is what two movies would you say are similar or remind you of Ghost Rider, to give somebody an example in case they have never seen this movie and they've made it this far in this podcast.
Right.
Old boy.
All right, I've got Spawn. Another
Man, that was mine.
What's all right? We all have. And Blade, and I put Blade in there because there's it's like one, like he's kind of on the evil, or he's a hellion fighting other of his kind kind of deal. You know what I mean? So it's he's kind of half in, half out, fighting against the worst half of him. So anyway, that's what I had.
I also had Spawn. I had The Mummy as my other one.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe that was just at the end with the souls and everything.
Okay,
I don't know.
I got you. Yeah.
I went Spawn, obviously, and Easy Rider just because motorcycles.
Okay.
I don't know if that's great, but
Evil Knievel.
I feel like this is Spawn, right?
I mean,
It's
I think Spawn's
for the
like
most
very
part,
similar,
yeah.
like type of thing.
Yep.
Deal with the devil.
I had Spawn, and then I was torn between, remember there was this random movie called End of Days?
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's
With
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold? Yeah.
That.
Oh man.
Okay.
And for some reason I
Daniel
thought,
Byrne,
and again,
or-
those two movies shouldn't match. But I also thought about Ninja Scroll. It was a anime.
Yeah.
And it was like it was almost like he was fighting the bosses pretty much. And
Okay.
Each one had a particular. There was like a rock guy. He was just made out of just solid rock.
Right, all
And then
right.
there was one that poisoned you, and then there was one that used electricity. So I just thought about the hidden.
There you go.
And then
Yeah.
he finally gets to the final boss, who was over I forgot the name of the clan, but
Wally, you got a movie marriage?
I had Spawn, but I also had Venom. I kept it in the Marvel universe just because of the duality of it all, right?
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
got this guy, and then you got this thing, and it's like, but they're not evil, but
Yeah.
they do questionable things,
Right. Sure.
So
No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
The next thing we do before we rate this movie is our tagline. This is one of our favorite segments on the show. It's where we take the tagline of the movie. It was something you would find on a movie poster in 2007 when you're walking through the theater and you're like, this is going to really draw me in. We'll read that one, and then we'll read our version of the tagline or something that we created. But here's the caveat. You have to do it in a movie voice.
Okay.
We're gonna.
I think I made that
All
work.
right.
Original tagline: Ghost Rider. His curse will become his power.
Ghost Rider, flame off.
that's pretty good.
All right. I don't even know when I wrote this down, but I've got Ghost Rider. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Ghost Rider. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Yeah. Ghost Rider, being a carny, is deadlier than lung cancer.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Right? He did better when he had lung cancer.
Right.
I love that.
Ghost Rider. I gets no love because I have the devil in me.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, those are some fun things to do. Now it is the ultimate time for this podcast. Let's wrap it all up with the reviews. We don't really know who's going to say what about 2007's Ghost Rider. This is why we have the Old Guard podcast. We have Wally and Rowls in the studio. We want to know, honest opinions. You got to put yourself in the mind of I've said it 5 times during this podcast. Suspend disbelief. This is pre-MCU. This is a superhero movie. So what I'm going to do is let you guys go first. So top rating, middle rating, lowest rating on your nearest pad dial. I'm going to let Rolls Royce go. No, Wally, you go first.
I can do it?
Yeah.
All right.
My man.
Bro, we had Batman Begins before this. We had Blade before this.
Man.
We have standards.
I mean,
This movie was rough. It took me a 72-hour period to get through this movie, man. I watched it in 3 stages because I fell asleep on a number of occasions, and a lot of it was anger-induced sleep.
Just get so angry, like fall asleep.
No, bro. No. Eva Mendes was hot though.
I mean,
Okay.
man.
And Sam Elliott's voice is all of that.
Yeah.
I think you two need to start a podcast
I
because
know,
we're about
man.
to find out what your answer is. Before that, Rowls, what do you got on 2007's Ghost Rider?
Decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was tough, man.
Okay.
I wanted it to win. The trailer.
There's no winning.
Yeah.
It's just ranking.
Yeah. I really wanted it to win. I really did. Good effects on Ghost Rider, but everything else. My 11-year-old wrote this script. Like,
Yeah.
You are doing a disservice
Yeah.
to your 11-year-old.
I know. Like,
Amen.
Eva Mendes is a way better actress.
Way better. They
and
did
they
her wrong,
really
man.
destroyed her. Like, it probably took Hitch and some other things to kind of like
her back.
wash this stain
man,
away
off
from
up
her
there,
career.
did,
No wonder why she retired early.
Yeah, no kidding.
Last thing,
Yeah.
Nic Cage should not have played this role. I'm sorry. I know he's a comic book head. I appreciate that he loves
Sure.
comics, but he was way too old for this role.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know why?
And then they're putting the hair on him, and it's
Yeah.
like,
You know why he
takes you out
played
of
this
it.
role is because Eric Bana and Johnny Depp turned it down.
Johnny Depp would have been amazing.
Johnny Depp would have been
Yep.
gangsters.
So also Nic Cage quit in the middle of this movie for 2 weeks, and then they had to get him back.
Why?
Yeah,
What
I don't know.
was he doing?
Oh, I've read so many things about Ghost Rider. I don't even want to
Okay.
like.
Learn to
Okay,
ride-
all right.
ride a motorcycle.
All right,
Time.
old boy, go ahead.
Oh boy.
Hit it.
Watching
no.
this was difficult for me, and it was difficult to not to be on my phone watching it because I was so disinterested. Like, and I mean, man, and it's got a guy that's on fire and a skull. Like, I mean, sounds like everything I'm into. It was too by the numbers. It was just too generic, and I mean, Ghost Rider's cool, but like. Cage wanted it to be an R-rated version, which maybe that could have done something, but it just fell real flat.
I think they did that. They tried to do that with the second one.
Oh,
kinda
did they?
revisit it?
Yeah, well,
and it
that-
was a little bit better, but not.
Maybe we'll have you back for the second
Yeah, I
one.
haven't seen
Yep.
this.
I have a, I have,
I
I have
my
a,
mind for that
I
one.
have a real quick question. So I also watched Ironheart, and Mephisto's in Ironheart. Is Riri Williams the new Ghost Rider?
She would probably be better, but it would be.
But anyway,
She's terrible.
I couldn't get into the movie, man. It was just not good.
All right, let's hear another soundbite. I'm going to go next because I believe that we, specifically you and I and Juicebox, are on this ride of Nic Cage movies. We have gone through a gauntlet of some pretty bad stuff and some generic stuff that we've had to watch him in The Weatherman. We've had to watch him like play all of these roles.
this is a
where
juxtaposition
This
you
is
about to do.
boring,
Okay,
right?
okay,
So if
okay.
I'm voting specifically on this experiment that we're doing, this to me was refreshing. And you know me, and I'm looking directly at you. Some of us need this on the surface. Some of us need this thing explained to us and never have read a comic in our life. Some of us love the color. Some of us love the sound and everything. I know the writing is bad, but man, it kept my attention based on what we've been doing. Look at some of these characters on this wall. It has been excruciating. This was fun. This was a break. This was
Yeah, he's awful damn good. I think I got the best one.
yeah. This to me is the best movie I've seen in
even
at least the
middle.
last 5.
Like
it was fun. It was fun. fun for me. I've watched it all the way through twice. I didn't. You said you fell asleep. I
He's
was
Brandon.
I was entertained. You get some of the people in it. You get
that are all like not utilized correctly.
they're
Or
not, but
well.
they're all like kind
they're
of
in it.
bunched together.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I
They're in the
recognize
Just a
they're-
family.
Yeah.
I can appreciate the contextual.
Yeah, in
You know what I'm
context
saying?
to the
If you're
other stuff.
Yeah, I can.
This is
see-
not.
Yeah.
You guys are coming
I
from
feel
an
it.
MCU Marvel.
Yeah,
universe,
I can see
where you're
superhero
saying.
universe.
No,
geek
let's be
culture.
clear.
Geek culture universe.
No, let's be clear. I didn't factor in MCU stuff when
At
I
all.
watched it at
Oh,
all.
okay.
I was like,
but
it
I
didn't
appreciate
exist.
where you coming from.
Yeah, I do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you watched a ton of these other ones, that last one I listened to, the Wicker Man, that sounded
I mean,
like
that
some
movie's
trash.
awful.
So I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
All right, so let's see. Juice Box, he's our wild card here.
I'll split the difference with you guys.
All right.
All right, I'm a little tired, a little wired, and I think I deserve a
Because
little
I agree with
appreciation.
everything that you're saying about how bad this movie is. Like,
Okay.
there's so much bad stuff. And would you guys believe me if the director said that he spent a year on this script? A year. And this is like the level of like writing that we got. So I agree with all that. I
spent
do
a year
think like visually I don't know. I enjoyed it visually. It's cheesy. It's 2007 CGI. I also a little bit enjoyed like watching a superhero movie that wasn't tied in with like a bigger universe.
Everything else.
It's like I
Just
can just
a one-off.
I can
Yeah,
just
we
watch
need
this
these
as a
one-offs,
one-off
man.
and
Yeah.
like not care what's
Right.
I can just whatever zone out on it.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it as much as some other stuff. So. But I think it falls in the same context of like Bucky was talking about.
Yeah.
Like we've watched so many like just
Yeah.
boring
I commend you guys.
movies.
Like y'all are
Y'all
doing,
dedicated.
y'all are doing the Lord's work, man.
Because I have trouble, and it's well documented, between us, that I really get frustrated when my time is wasted.
Yep.
I get upset. I got more years behind me than in front.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And 2
Yeah.
hours of my life is valuable, man. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
when
imagine-
I get this, I get upset.
It's like imagine
Man,
us.
now-
we
now I
watch
feel
these.
bad.
Y'all are some soldiers.
Now
We
we
watch-
for making you watch this, man.
Y'all some soldiers,
We
man.
watch these movies at least 2 or 3 times. Like we watch it all the way through,
Right.
just a pass
Yeah.
through.
I watched
Then
it twice.
Then we do
Yeah.
a notes version
Yeah.
watching, and then we like there could be there's some really bad movies. We've seen a lot of bad Nic Cage characters, but I wanted to bring up the fact that this time we see Nic Cage as like CG'd flaming skull superhero riding a badass bike, right? Imagine being drawn as that character. Like I bet the drawers of whoever created Ghost Rider, was like, I'm going to do what I want to do now. Right. And then we got this in a world of Robins and, Mr. Stretch and like all these people who wear less than ideal spandex and, color wheels on their uniforms. You get a flaming skull dude with a leather jacket
on a
with spikes
biker,
riding a motorcycle, a chopper.
Then they should have done him service and made it a better movie.
Hey, wherever you are listening to us right now, feel free to like, rate, subscribe. If you are listening to us on your favorite podcast network, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you're consuming this, you can always watch us on YouTube. We put out these episodes. We are in the basement, and we have the Old Guard podcast with us, and we are so happy that they stopped by and joined us on this Friday night this week. Up next in our
I wish
series,
it was a better movie for you guys. I'm sorry.
No.
No, it's okay.
Hey,
This was fun, man.
We
Hey.
might have you guys back for Ghost Rider 2.
Oh, we love a good hate cast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it might be good this time, man.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, you'll die of old age waiting for that to be good, bro.
Up next in our series of Casting Cage is a movie called Next. Also came out in 2007. Next is a 2007 science fiction action film starring Nicolas Cage as Chris Johnson, a Las Vegas magician who can see up to 2 minutes into his own future.
I remember that.
He is pursued by the FBI agent Julianne Moore, who wants to use his ability to stop a terrorist group from detonating a nuclear bomb in Los Angeles. The film also stars Jessica Biel as the woman he is destined to meet. We love doing these, and we love reading these because that is what we're going to do
That's right.
next.
Next.
Yes, I remember that movie.
Well, instead of our classic sign off, man, where can the listenership find you guys?
So everybody can find us on oldguardpodcast.com. We're on all the platforms, Apple Podcast, Spotify. I finally got us on YouTube.
Sweet.
We need to be like you guys. Y'all got the video thing going.
We gotta step
Yep.
the game up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are here because of geek culture, so are we. And there's so much like-mindedness in this room
Oh man.
that we could sit here for hours
on this
and,
What did you say?
At least on this side.
I guess we found out tonight. We're going to have these guys back for Ghost Rider 2, which is probably going to be about 6 or 7 films from now. But we hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this week's episode of Bucky's Basement Podcast, our episode of Casting Cage featuring the Old Guard. And we will see you guys really soon.
Tell your mama and them.
Tell your mama.
I'm the ghost in your ghost's closet. See the chain flow when your foes will vomit. Guess your gang knows when I roll up on you. I'ma make a few cuts in that whole department.